everyone. Welcome to another episode of Legendary Leaders. I am your host, Katrina Jameson, founder of Legend Leaders, where we arm business leaders with the strategies they need to become legends, which means they live life on their terms. Now, throughout the entire month of July, we have been focused on financials, delivering to your financial targets, creating financial targets, helping you successfully move your business forward and deliver to your targets for 2020. Yes, because we are already halfway through, actually a little over halfway through the year now. And I want you to have a successful business. And part of having a successful business is generating the financial piece that you must deliver to and what you define as success in your business. Now, today I want to talk about leads, active leads. What in the heck is a lead? I'm sure you hear it all the time. Depending upon the industry that you're in, you probably know what a lead is. For some of you that are in a different industry that doesn't really use the term leads, you may be going, what the heck is a lead? Well, to put it very simply, a lead is someone who's interested in your product, right? You could call a lead a potential customer. They're not an actual customer because they haven't purchased anything yet. They're just interested in your product or service, okay? So now you know what a lead is. I'm going to use that term throughout this entire conversation. So now we're speaking the same language. My question to you again, now that we know what a lead is how many active leads are you working on right now? How many potential customers do you have in your pipeline, in your sales pipeline? Now, here's the deal. I'm asking you this because if we're talking about financials, we have to have a very simple way of understanding how many potential customers are out there in our pipeline so that we know how many will convert into actual customers, which means we're generating revenue. It's really that simple. Don't make it complex, okay? How many potential customers are you engaging and working with throughout your process so that you know at a given time about how many will convert and become actual customers, because customers equal revenue. Now, I'm going to pause and take a time out for just a second. No, I'm not saying that customers only are revenue generating points for you. No, we're here to serve. We're absolutely here to serve. And every customer that you touch, you help solve the problem. That's what your product or your service does. But I'm going to talk about financials today. And when I'm talking about financials, know that a customer in the financial world represents dollars in your P&L or your financial statements. And so I'm not saying that they're only worth dollars. Never would I say that. I want to throw that caveat out there because I care about my customers and my clients. They don't just represent dollars to me. I care about them immensely, and I absolutely am here to serve them. In this conversation, though, as we're talking about financials, let's understand that from a financial lens only, our customers equal our revenue, okay? Let's agree to that. Perfect. So, if we're talking about customers equaling revenue in this conversation, then what we need to understand is how many potential customers are out there that we can convert to generate revenue in order to hit our revenue target. Very simple, basic math, okay? So let's walk through the math. Well, the first question you're probably thinking is, how many leads do I need to have at a given time in order to hit my target? And that's a perfect question. You need to solve for that. You must solve for that. And that's part of the math that you have to do in the background. So if you have a revenue target, X number of dollars, then you need to break that down and say, well, then how many customers must I have in a given time frame? Let's say a week. How many customers do I need to have in a week in order to hit that financial target? Well, let's say based on the math that you've done, you must have 10 new customers a week, or clients, whatever you call them. So you must have 10. Well, here's a good rule of thumb. Tony Robbins, for example, says that at any given time, there's 5 to 15% of your leads are ready to buy, meaning they're ready to go from a lead to an actual customer. 5 to 15%. So let's just go with the average. Let's just say 10% of the leads in your pipeline are ready to become customers at a given moment. All right? So if I need to deliver 10 new customers in a week, that means I must have at least 100 active leads because I need to convert 10% of those. And 10% of that gives me 10. See how I did the math there? If I say that 10% are going to convert at a set period of time, at a given time, then I've got to have whatever my number is to get my 10%. That's how you're going to have to calculate it. And what I will tell you is that there are a lot of business owners out there that create financial targets. It's perfect. They must create a target. But then they're not sure of the math they need to do to actually deliver to that target. And so here's your math. How many leads do you need to have in your pipeline? How many potential customers do you need to be working with? Emailing, talking to verbally, engaging on a sales call, going and doing a demonstration, whatever your business is, how many do you have lined up in that period of time in order to convert and deliver to your weekly and then therefore monthly target? You can even break it down by day, and most companies do. How many do you need to be talking to, potential customers or leads? How many do you need to talk to each day? And therefore, how many do you need to convert to hit your daily revenue target? And the rule is 10%. If you talk to X number in a day, 10% of those, on average, will convert and be an actual customer. So you may be sitting down right now and going, oh my gosh, in order to hit my financial target, I need to, wow, that's a lot of leads. And I will tell you, it is a lot of leads. It's a lot more than what you would expect. And that is why I'm talking to you about it today. You have to be educated. We all have to be educated in the business. And now you know, you're armed. But knowledge isn't all the power that you need. You actually have to act upon it, right? And so what are you going to do? What action are you going to take? It could be that your financial target is just way too high. It's way too unrealistic for the budget that you set aside from a sales perspective. Maybe you need to invest more money in advertising, in marketing, in order to generate these leads. Maybe you need to hire a new sales rep to generate the sales because you've got to be able to move through X number of leads in a day or in a week. But now you know that. Now you can make a good decision. As opposed to getting frustrated all the time that you're not hitting your targets, now you can understand how to better hit your target because you know the number of leads that you need to have, those potential customers. So what will you do with this new knowledge? Will you adjust your target? You might have to. Will you spend more money in marketing? You might need to do that. Will you add another sales rep or will you adjust your time? Will you move your time from focusing on maybe a little less product development and more sales? Maybe it was just realizing you needed to pivot and adjust your time. Whatever the answer is, make the adjustment. Take the action. And then as you take the action, you can build momentum. Maybe you need to save X number of dollars to hire. Sorry, that was my little accent coming out there. Hire the sales rep. Maybe you need to do that. But you can't know what you need to do next if you can't clearly see the number of leads you must have in your pipeline in order to hit your revenue target. So go take the action. What do you need to do? Invest more money? Adjust your target? Adjust your schedule? Whatever the answer is, use the knowledge to help you deliver financially and then continue to refine and adjust, okay? You may have higher conversion rates depending upon the way you change your scripting with your sales team. You may have even lower conversion rates. I went with the average of 10. You may only be converting 5%. Can you get it to 10? Is there something else you could do? Go back and listen to the month of June where I was talking about selling. Listen to those tips if you didn't listen to it. Add a couple of those pieces in there. That should be able to increase your potential conversion if you take a couple of those nuggets and apply them. But at the end of the day, now you understand how many leads do you need to have in your pipeline to convert every single day, every single week, every month? How many conversations must you have, or how much money do you need to spend to touch additional people out there in the marketing world? What does that look like for you? Create your plan so that you can deliver financially. That's your challenge for the day. go and be legendary.